100 tiles, round 30. As we tally the results from the presidential election, here's everyone's initiative for this round. Stick around to the end to find out who gets to be 100 tiles' first president. Turn 1 black. For once, I'm not going to use my save state. Instead, I'll just hop forward to tile 2. You know, the one that makes me a player on this tile that we've seen a gazillion times. Truth is, this is the last iteration of this tile that exists, and by moving here, I can redefine it. But not before it activates on me. Now, I'm going to have to pause it here because this brings up an interesting question. This tile is green, which means it counts as blank, but it also moves me to itself, which would trigger the tile again. What would happen? Do I redefine the tile's effect before or after it resolves? And yes, this matters for reasons I'll get into shortly. Since infinite loops are scary, I'm going to say that it gets redefined before the resolution. Here's my effects. Select one ongoing effect and remove it. It's so simple yet so powerful. Okay, then the tile's original effect resolves, and I move 0 tiles, which still counts as a move. So the rule that prevents players from activating tiles the same turn they're defined is attached to the main track, not Limbo. If none of the other added rules apply to Limbo, why would this one? So with that, I can, in fact, activate this tile in the same turn. I can remove one ongoing effect, and I choose Green's non-player status. That's right, you are now back to being one of us. There's one layer of protection gone, and that's all I can do this turn. Your reign of terror is about to come to a crashing halt, buddy. Turn 2 red. Red moves forward 1 and lands on the therapy tile. Red gets to select a player and change one of their class abilities. And thanks to my handiwork, green is a possible target. Alright, red, who's it gonna be? It's green, obviously. Green enters a therapy session with red. Whoa, 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 you're not supposed to show that yet. Well, I can't speak for Green's mental state, but their ability has been fixed at least. Red changes the effect of Insert Tragic Backstory here. You cannot enter Limbo and is banned from interacting with it or its tiles. Yeah, that's a pretty big nerf, alright. Because neither Green nor Red has any money to pay the therapy bill, Green is sent to Alpha Tile 0. Man, it almost feels wrong drawing them with a black outline, but now they cannot go back to Limbo even if they wanted to. Red then uses their Tinker on the blank tile adjacent to them, which used to contain the pawn shop. This replaces its effect, Remy's Ratatouille. In short, causes a player to go back to one of the last 3 tiles they were on. The rodents are back with a vengeance, or at least a passion for cooking. Red's homunculus finally gets to take a turn. It rolls a 2. Rather than go backwards and trigger the tile that just says die, it moves forwards onto the Ratatouille tile. You can't activate it because it was just defined this turn though. What a productive turn. Turn 3 pink. Pink once again swaps their fork for knowledge before hopping forward 1 space to this tile, which doesn't activate because it's not their team color. I think they just took the 1 because they wanted to make sure they got knowledge before anyone else could snag it. Good on you, I suppose? Turn 4 green. Green had already selected a 2 and moving backwards, so they move back to tile -2. I mean, now they get to define tiles on the main board again. With their backwards abilities, they could still make the negative numbers into a whole new toolbox for themselves. Let's see what Green's plans are. Gain the ability to change your movement roll to a 0 at the beginning of your turn, then destroy this tile. Now that's interesting. This just lets you choose not to move. This ability doesn't do anything by itself, but I'm sure Green has an idea to make it stupid OP. I mean, this is the OG Menace we're talking about. Turn 5 purple. Purple's 2+1 puts them on this tile, which moves them back to the double up space. Purple can finally live out their fantasy of becoming a common writer. As long as yellow gives their consent, of course, but we'll have to wait until next round to see how that turns out. Turn 6 orange. Orange uses Step of the Wind to move 3 spaces backwards and lands on their new favorite tile, Tile 1. Orange Wild Ride Lightning Round, let's go! Additional Tile 1 effects, the player that triggers this tile gains knowledge. Straightforward. Destroy Lone Wolf tile. Rip. Kill black. Rip. Define effect for tile 112. Once this tile is activated, anyone not on a team can only activate tiles of their own color. Activate tile 106. Welp, despite the Chaos Party's best efforts, sheer action economy wins out in the end. Here's a breakdown of the effects. Whenever a player not in Limbo defines a tile effect, they can choose to activate on the same turn. Straightforward. Players of the same color or team can choose to ignore tile effects of the same color or team. This can apply to both landing on a tile and being targeted by a tile's effect. Players on the same color or team can redefine tile effects, and so on. This is what justifies the name Total Tile Control right here. The tiles themselves can change at the whims of the players, even after they've already been set. Now it's worth noting that the same color or team enables anyone, not just Team Rainbow, to utilize these effects. This game's about to get a whole lot more hectic. Turn 7 yellow. Yellow's 5 got fate shifted for a 4, but this doesn't affect their turn because they can just add a +1 from Lone Wolf. Yellow starts off by taking the tile 6 save state before moving 5 forward onto tile 85, a blank. What is lost may be found again. A small giant worm spawns at the start of Limbo's track. The worm returns. This one's younger and it looks a bit like the worms we know. Maybe this is their offspring. Yellow, of course, takes advantage of Total Tile Control to put it into play immediately. Oh yeah, I don't think I didn't notice this cheeky little clause here. Yellow was so quick on the draw you'd miss it if you thought about blinking. Total Tile Control is now so impractical to use it might as well have been negated entirely. At least for now. Yellow deploys their A behind themselves before using their other save state to return to tile 40+I. Turn 8 blue. Blue's 5 puts them on tile 17, and immediately cause target trigger effect to trigger. Now this hasn't really been touched on, but I'm defining trigger effect as an effect that explicitly states a condition for it to trigger. You can't directly activate a tile with this. However, if a tile happens to say something like, landing on this tile, blah blah blah, then that does count as having a condition. With that out of the way, blue, what's your pick? It's tile 38, the warp tile, which says, players who land on this tile may warp to any tile of their color in any location. That's a trigger, alright. Blue selects, well, who could have seen this coming? Tile 22, trigger any tile which is currently blue. Blue triggers tile 33, which just says, this tile sends you forward 4 tiles. Well, heck. Not so fast. Congratulations. You think I'm here to trick you? The whole point of the game was to create an exciting challenge. To put several people into an environment with unlimited creativity, where their wits can be tested against one another, and ultimately, one would be crowned the champion. But you've outwitted even that. As you march toward the finish line, you bring with you 5 other players. Your victory is a testament not just to the creativity and resourcefulness of mankind, but also their cooperation and good nature. For that, you have my highest commendations. Now go claim your prize. Blue moves forward 4 tiles, onto tile 100, winning the game for Team Rainbow. Red, orange, lime, blue, purple, and pink all claim their hard-earned victory. It's kind of bittersweet, really. The game is over. Could have gone on much longer and had so many more twists and turns, but I think this is appropriate. Things have gotten so out of hand that even I was having trouble keeping up with it all. Here's the results of the poll, by the way. I hope you're not too disappointed we don't get to see Green flex their presidential authority, but I mean, the game could have ended at any moment. Thank you all for voting regardless. So, what's next? Well, I've been wanting a fresh start for a long while now. How about a Season 2? That's right, A brand new game of 100 tiles is going to start up soon, with a brand new cast of 6 players. I have some ideas to keep things from getting too crazy too quickly, but we'll have to see how that goes. If you want a chance to take part in the next game, stick around. I'll have a new video up soon with a revised introduction to the game, and an invitation for anyone to sign up. If you don't want to miss that, consider subscribing and or joining the Discord, link in the description. Players, thanks for playing. Viewers, thanks for viewing. Do the YouTube stuff, and I'll see you in Season 2. 101 tiles. Good game, players.